Hey everyone, for today's experiment I'm going to make 3 pizzas, one with part-skim mozzarella, one with whole milk mozzarella, and then one with the 50-50 mix. I know most pizzerias in New York do either skim or a mix. I've made pizzas with whole milk and part-skim. I've never done a side-by-side comparison though, so that's what we're going to do today. These cheeses are from Trader Joe's. And each pizza is going to have exactly 85 grams of cheese on it. I made these dough balls last night. And they look good. Using the King Arthur bread flour. I took them out of the fridge about 3 hours ago, 2.5 to 3 hours. Still a tiny bit cool, but that'll work. It's about good. I'll put the recipe for the the dough balls in the description. Each pizza is going to have 70 grams of mutti crushed tomatoes with 8 grams of salt, and that's it for the tomatoes. I know everybody says that whole milk is more oily and more stretchy, but it seems to have quite a bit different flavor too. I don't know. Let's do a side by side. Let's do the whole milk first. Okay, let me check the temperature here. Oop, 637, we're good to go. Okay, check back in about 4 minutes. Okay, it's been 4 minutes. I'm gonna go check it out. It looks good through the window. Yeah, it's pretty good. So here it is, first one with the whole milk cheese. Just look at the bottom of the crust. That's really good looking. It's crispy. That's going to be a good pizza. Okay. While the oven is reheating, I'll make the next one. I did notice that the rim on that one is not quite as puffy as I like it to be. That's because this dough is still a tiny bit chilled from the fridge. I've got to get these done because I've got some time constraints, but it should still be really good. Actually, I'm going to check the oven temperature before I put this on the peel. All right, 6:05. I'm going to let it warm up for another couple minutes and put the toppings on, put it on the peel. So let's hold off for just a minute. I just tested the oven and we're good to go. This dough is a tiny bit warmer than the last one. And so it's a little bit more stretchy. I was just down at Lowe's hardware store earlier today, and I was looking at the Uni Coda 16-inch one, the gas, and I think I might have to get it sometime soon. I used to have the Uni Fira, but I got rid of it. I sold it because I didn't love it. The problem was the chamber, you know, where you put the pizza was so small that it was really, really hard to cut. The problem with the Fira was the oven was so small that it caused a lot of problems. For starters, back where the pellets were burning could get about 1,000 degrees or even a little bit higher, but come up 12 inches towards the opening and it was always about 200 degrees cooler. That's pretty drastic change for a pizza oven. So what happened a lot of times is I put the pizza in and the back of the pizza starts to burn, and I try to rotate it. But because the front of the oven is so much cooler, the bottom of the pizza didn't char up, like it didn't crisp up. And so I try to slide the peel underneath and it would snag and tear the dough because it wasn't cooked. So that happened a lot. Also, with the Fira, you've got these pellets burning in the back of the oven. And it's it's kind of a large flame, but it's really gentle, like slow burning. And so what happens is, if there's a little tiny breeze coming through where your oven is, it will, instead of having the flame come up and over the pizza, it'll knock the flames out the back, the air ventilation. And so sometimes that would happen to me. I'd put the pizza in, there's a little tiny breeze to the air, and it knocks the flame out back. So now it's not cooking properly because the temperature's too low, or the bottom is hot and the top's not hot though. And it just was really complicated. It took a little bit of luck, honestly, to get a pizza just right in the Uni Fira. So I sold it. I'm gonna get a bigger one sooner or later, probably the Uni Coda, maybe a different brand, but that'll be coming up soon, just so you're aware. So we're gonna let this cook for another 3.5 minutes and we'll check back. It's been about 4 minutes. I think we're good. Let's take a look. Yep. Oh, I can see right away. Look. I can see right away just the cheese looks differently. I don't know if you can pick that up in the video, but it just has melted a little bit differently. That looks good though. See the crust. That looks good. Okay, I'm gonna do the last one. I'm gonna let the oven warm up for a few minutes. Let's do this. I'm gonna scoot this one over. I'm gonna put the label so I don't lose track. This is the whole milk one. Nope, sorry. Whole milk is here. Part-Skim is here. Now it's time for the mix. And I'm probably going to be going to New York sometime the next couple or few weeks to eat more pizza. And I would love any recommendations. I'm going to be in Manhattan maybe just across the East River into Brooklyn. I don't want to go too far into Brooklyn though. I don't really like that place. But I'm going to try out John's of Bleecker Street. I haven't been there yet. I'm going to go out to Grimaldi's in Brooklyn, just right across the river. Haven't been there yet. But I'm looking for any recommendations for any good classic pizzeria in Manhattan. It's been around for a while. I've been to a lot of them. You know, I've been to the Patsy's, Lombardi's, Scars, Bifara, Joe's, you know, a couple others I can't think of right now. But if you're aware of any other just classic, well-known pizzeria, or I guess even if it's not real well-known, I just kind of want that classic New York pizza taste though. So if you're aware of anything like that, let me know in the comments, please. Thank you. I'm just going to put this down for a couple minutes while the oven heats back up, and I'll check back then. The oven's good to go. Let's put a third pie together and throw it in the oven. In case you didn't watch one of my previous videos on the tomatoes, I experimented with multiple different brands and types, from crushed tomatoes to cherry tomatoes, the traditional aromas, imported tomatoes, American grown tomatoes, and by far the best tasting tomatoes I've ever had are the Mutti brands, imported from Italy. They say that it is the most common brand of tomatoes in Italy. And that's not why I like them per se, but I believe I get it though. That's why everybody in Italy uses them, because they're so good. It tasted exactly like the ones I had on pizza in Naples, Italy when I was there. Okay, while this third pie is baking, I'm going to clean up the countertop here a little bit, and then this is what we're going to do. The problem is the first pie I did, the one with whole milk, has been sitting there for about 12, 13 minutes, and it'll be there for over 15 minutes by the time this third pie is done. So it's cooled down already, which is going to affect the flavor, you know, of the cheese just a little bit. So what I'm going to do is put it back in the oven for 1 minute, and that way I get that good New York crispy crust I like anyways. You know, in New York, you go to a pizzeria and they have the pie sitting out there and you order a slice, they put it back in the oven for just a minute and it crisps up the bottom really good. So I'm going to get that going. I'm going to do that with the first one and then the second one and the third one. That way they're going to be all, you know, approximately the same temperature, because they're all baked within, they're all reheated, baked within a couple minutes of themselves instead of 15 minutes plus. All right. So I'll check back in a few minutes when this is done. We're back. We're ready to take it out, I think. Yep. Okay. This is the mix. I think it looks a little bit different. Again, that crust is just outstanding. Okay, let's take a closer look here. We've got the whole milk one, mix, Part-Skim. All three. Okay, I'm going to put the whole milk one back in. Okay, let's do this. Okay. Let it go for 1 minute. Okay, it's been a minute. Next is the Part-Skim one. While that one is baking, I'm going to cut up the whole milk one, and let's take a look at the crust real quick. If we did this right, then there should be some cracking on the bottom of the crust when I fold it. Let's take a look. Oh, I don't know if you can see it, but yeah, there's a crack there and a crack there. That looks good. It's been about a minute for the Part-Skim one. Here it comes. So I'll put the mix one back in for just a minute also. Okay, it's been about a minute. All three of these are about the same temperature. It's time for my favorite part, taste test. All right. Let's cut up the mix one. And now the Part-Skim one. All right, here we go. This is the whole milk one. Really good flavor. I've been using Part-Skim for a really long time. I can tell that this whole milk one is a little bit more stringy, stretchy. Let's do the Part-Skim one. That tastes really good too. Oh. I don't know if there's a huge difference in the taste though. You know, I can barely taste the difference. I don't know how I'm going to taste the difference in the middle one. I think the whole milk might be a tiny bit stronger. Yeah, it's just a tiny, the whole milk one is a tiny bit stronger than the skim. They're both really good. They're both actually really comparable. I don't know if I'll be able to tell the difference at all with this one. I can't even tell the difference. You know what, let's do this. My paper towels. Let's see if I can tell the difference, how oily it is by, dabbing it with a paper towel. Okay, one little dab, boom. It looks the exact same to me. This is the skim, this is the whole milk. Yeesh, I can't, honestly, any three of these would do just fine. Whole milk is a tiny bit stronger. It doesn't even, a tiny bit more stringy, but it doesn't taste any greasier. It doesn't look any greasier. It looks a tiny bit more white maybe, but it's not grease. I don't know, that's kind of an inconclusive result, I guess. That's it, I can't tell. And all three of them are really good. I guess for good measure, you could just do a 50-50 mix. Sounds better. And any one of these is just outstanding. It tastes really good. So, sorry, kind of inconclusive results, but I mean, that is a result. At least from Trader Joe's brand, the whole milk, the skim or mixture, any one of them is just outstanding. So, let me see if I can find the nutritional facts. I threw those away. Here we go. Take a look at these. Part-Skim has 6 grams of fat per serving, which is 1 ounce. And whole milk has 7 grams of fat. Okay, so Part-Skim has 80 calories, 6 grams of fat. Whole milk has 90 calories and 7 grams of fat. Part-Skim is 3.5 grams saturated fat. Whole milk is 4.5 grams saturated fat. Cholesterol for part is 20 milligrams, and for whole, 25 milligrams. Same sodium. So for Trader Joe's, the difference between Part-Skim and whole milk is so minimal. I can just barely taste the difference. Either one works great. If I had a pizzeria, I'd probably do a mixture of two, just for good measure. But either way, you're going to be well off. So sorry if I disappoint anybody, but at least we know. Down the road, I'm going to have to do some experiments between Trader Joe's and Galbani or whatever other brands are out there. So that'll be coming up next, or sometime soon at least. Thanks for watching. Let me know what your favorite cheese is in the comments.